Welcome to the girls. We're here again at the Dragonfly Cafe in downtown Hazleton, and I'm drinking out of my official Dragonfly
We're finally
mug.
official here.
We're official. I have my
Dragonfly.
decaf in here today.
Good.
And
Look at our
Jenny,
puppy.
I know.
Look how cute he is.
Now this puppy is the theme for the show because we're going to talk about pets today later on in the show.
My favorite kind of pet is right here. Isn't he cute?
Yeah, because you kill everything.
Oh, I do not. Speaking of killing things and not killing things, I do have a pet. I have a pet fish. We have 2 beta fish, and thankfully,
Are they still alive?
Facebook saved my fish's life. My fish was upside down. It was 2 years ago. He was upside down, and I'm thinking, is he dead? And every time I would go to scoop him out, he would, come alive again. But he was upside down. So I, of course, took it to Facebook, asked my friends out there, what is wrong with my fish? And I had a dozen of responses. And the one guy, and I hope he's watching out there, one of the viewers said, feed your fish lettuce. Okay? This was like a 3-hour tour, I'm telling you. It was an all-night thing.
I read it.
So I sprinkled in the lettuce. I actually tried to find that thread on my Facebook. I'm going to have to find that. I sprinkled in some lettuce and was hoping for the best. The next morning I woke up and the fish was swimming away.
Now, what did the lettuce do?
I think he had something caught in his stomach. Like he either
So he needed like a roto-rooter.
Yeah. So he needed a clean out. He needed a little clean outs.
And it's the same fish, you still have him.
He'll probably be dead when I go home today, but right now he is alive. We have 2 beta, but the one beta, like I said, I think it was around one of the kids' birthdays when it happened, so I was up all night trying to think, should I dump him, shouldn't I dump him, but so I have him alive.
Well, what if you would have dumped him? He was alive. All he needed to do was take a little poopy.
Yeah, he needed a poop.
Oh my God.
He needed a laxative. That was the word I was looking for.
Well, pets need a lot of care. They really
do.
do. And
That's
if
why
you
I
don't
have
want
a
to if you
fish.
don't want to take care of a pet, don't get your kid a pet. Mm-hmm. Don't get a pet and think, well, I'm going to be at work all day and this pet could just take care of itself. Maybe cats could do that, but they really do. I mean, a pet needs care. You get love back from it. You have to give the pet some care. You got the rabbit. Remember the dwarf rabbit?
Oh, I loved Noelle, but Ashley was the other. We had 2. We had Ashley second, but Ashley was hard to take care of.
Yeah, well, what would you know? I mean, every Saturday it was the fight over who was going to clean the cage, and you didn't want to do it. It was really stinky with all that cedar chips.
But I managed to keep 2 kids alive so far, 2 fish, and we have 1 flower that was actually from Nanny's funeral.
Wow, you still have that flower.
So I have the flower.
Well, that's good. Well, speaking of flowers, we have these beautiful flowers, and it is a Bichon puppy because it's in honor of our Bichon, even though it has pink ribbons in its hair. We have our Bichon Gucci, who everyone on Facebook knows. He has a following. Mm-hmm. And but Smith Floral did that beautiful arrangement to make it look like a Bichon puppy. Isn't that a great gift?
This was very creative. So
Isn't
if you
that
need something
wonderful?
creative made, I wonder if she can make me one in the shape of a lip gloss.
Oh, that would be a piece of cake.
How about it? Speaking of lip gloss, we always talk about our nails here too and give some tips, but I was getting my nails done and I had to get one fixed for the show. I won't show you which finger it was because it won't be nice, but
Right,
it
so
was
what
my
happened?
middle finger. And she fixed it and I was looking to see what color it was and it was called high maintenance.
High maintenance.
What is that? It was
That's
funny.
the thing.
Cracked me right up.
Well, we had the OPI lady on, and
Yeah.
of course she left all these great polishes for me. So every week I put the different polishes, and
me
I
guess.
do my own nails. All right. So I was sitting last
She
night
looks
doing
the pride,
my nails.
doesn't she?
Now, what color is this? You always want to guess.
That is
All right, time's
Sky
up.
blue.
This is to
Sky blue.
Infinity and Blonde.
oh yeah, to infinity.
To Infinity Blue. So anyhow, that's the color I have on
Blonde.
this week. OPI.
Okay.
And
High maintenance. Is
I
that
can't wait to
funny?
get our guests on though,
that
because
cracked me up.
that's why everybody tunes in. They tune in to see our guests. This week we have Diane from A Place for Paws, and she's going to be joining us shortly. We're going to talk about pets, pet grooming, how to take care of your pet at home, how you can maintain your pet in between, and we're going to show you some great pictures from the viewers that they sent of their pets. So stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the girls. If you just joined us, you're late. but you missed our first block. We were talking about that we're going to be having our special guest on today, and here she is. This is Diane Holik. She's from A Place for Paws, and she is my dog Gucci, my Bijan's groomer. And I met her a few years ago after having several bad experiences with having my dog groomed. And this was the first time I ever took my dog to a groomer where he didn't pull back on his leash after he had been there before. So Diane has a shop on Route 93 in Cunningham, A Place for Paws. And welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Woof, woof. Well, thanks for coming on the show. I don't have any pets, but of course I am an aunt, so we have Gucci. And you know, when you are a groomer, how does someone become a groomer? Do you have to? What's your background?
Well, I'm sure first of all you have to love pets.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, otherwise why go into the business?
We would hope that.
Anyone could actually become a groomer. You know, there are schools out there. There are also places that you could go and start as a bather, and then they teach you, and they eventually show you how to groom. It does take a very long time to get good at what you do, though.
And that's how you started.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so lead us through your experience. You were bathing the
I was
dogs.
a bather 16 years ago, and the head groomer that ran the whole shop, she pulled me aside and she told me that, you know, I'm very loving to the animals, and that, you know, she liked what she saw, and she asked me if I ever had any interest to pursue grooming.
Nice.
And at that point, she told me, ask your friends with dogs that need haircuts if they would let you take their dog in. We'll close the shop, and after it's closed, I'll show you from, you know, start to finish, and we'll do it that way. And her name was Debbie. She was a very nice lady.
That's a good name.
Yes.
Well, Diane, I have to say that you are very loving. You're very, very loving, and you have to be loving to deal with these animals. But
Yes, you do.
Gucci is just all over you. As soon as he knows he's going, gets out of the car, he runs to her, he's licking her, and I mean, it's just unbelievable to see the bond that you have with these dogs. So how do you start off with a dog? Like if someone just got a pet and they need to have the dog, first of all,
Who should get it?
Who should get it? Who needs a grooming? I mean, does every dog need to be groomed?
Every dog needs to be groomed.
Okay, so what do they need?
Well, you know, nails definitely need to be taken care of, even if they have a short-haired dog. You know, they think, oh, we don't need to go to a groomer, but they really should. The nails should be done on a monthly basis. You don't want that that red bloodline. It's called the quick. You don't want that to grow out because once it does, it's very painful for the dogs to get their nails cut.
Right. Now, as we're talking, you're going to see some of the things like your shop that's on Route 93. I think the thing that impressed me the most about it was when I came to your shop, the area is all open up, and I could see where you're grooming my dog, where you're bathing my dog. Everything was safe. You do everything for the dog's safety, and also it's clean. I went to a place before where as soon as I stepped in, it was just smelled horrible. It just smelled like urine and feces, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this is where I'm going to take my dog to be groomed. And there was a wall. You could not see where I let my dog.
When I picked the spot to open up the grooming shop, the most important thing for me was, first of all, to make sure the dogs were safe. There's a door, and then another door, and then behind the counter there's another door. So basically, you know, a dog can't just run out onto 93 and get loose. You know what I mean?
And when I come, I have to knock because your door's locked.
I like locking the door because for older dogs, it's kind of, I don't think it's fair to keep them in a cage. If I have time, I lock the door and I let them stretch their legs and run because they can get stiff sitting in there until their owner comes to pick them up.
Right, there's a little
So
play area.
I try to make it as much as home feeling as I possibly can for all the pets that come in.
It sounds like a daycare. It sounds like a mom looking, or a dad, or a grandparent
Well,
looking. They're little children.
People think I'm
pets are like
crazy,
children. They
but
really are.
Even though they're not my pets, they, in my head and in my heart, they are. When I have customers that have been coming to me for years, and you know, they'll call me up and tell me, oh, you know, my pet had passed away. The first one that had passed away, I met the guy in Walmart, and he came up to me. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, you know, you haven't seen Smokey in a while. He had passed away. I literally started crying hysterically. I had to walk out of Walmart. It was the first customer ever to tell me that the dog passed away.
Well, you're crying now.
I know, because you know what? I love this dog. He was so special. He was an older border collie. And it touched my heart. I love this dog. I love this dog.
Well, you know, I could attest for that. And the job that you do now I have a very difficult breed to groom and to get right. Some of the Bijans look like zipped poodles and whatever, but
Gucci is very, I think because you do a lot of maintaining at home, he's used to getting brushed and combed. So he is definitely a trooper when you're brushing his long hair.
He likes to be primped. He's the king. He's the king.
Let's tell them how long he's at the spa. 4 hours.
With a Bichon and a full like show coat that you keep Gucci in, you know, people don't realize how much is entailed to grooming a dog like Gucci. Just giving Gucci a bath using shampoo, to rinse him properly and scrub that long hair, he's in there literally for at least a half an hour, getting wet down and shampooing. Then there's conditioner.
Do you take humans a 4-hour spa? That's why he's running in there to get his hair done, and he's getting his nails done.
I know what he's
No wonder why he doesn't want to leave.
In between groomings, he got dirty the one day they was out playing, and I did give him a bath. And I'm telling you, he was in there 45 minutes. Then they're rinsing, and then you have to make sure it's all rinsed down. And he's very patient.
If you don't rinse that well, then they get like allergy problems and stuff because the soap. It gives them issues.
Talk about the difference with the fur and the hair.
It's all fur.
Okay.
Different textures.
Okay.
Some are like ours, which would be like a terrier mix. It's more like wiry or porous. And then you have like Bijans, which is like kind of fuzzy and fluffy, but it's all considered fur.
What's the difference then for a hypoallergenic dog? They say like a dog is hypoallergenic.
Oh, you mean the dog itself, like if owners have allergies?
Right.
Okay, well, I think the main breed that everyone's going for are these golden doodles. Okay. And I'm not a professional on the breed or like, you know, what the statistics are, but I did a little research because they are beautiful dogs. Mm-hmm. It's like a Gucci, but huge. They're beautiful. The man who actually invented that breed studied that for many, many years. And the way he did it was to take a golden and a poodle and mix it. And what he came up with is something that wasn't really shedding, didn't have that much dander, and you know, people weren't allergic to them. But a lot of golden doodles that are coming in, they're like, you know, we got this golden doodle because it wasn't supposed to affect people with allergies. And that's because like now they're going into second generation, third generation, and the man who actually invented the breed did it for people with allergies, and then it just went crazy and everyone's breeding and, you know, doing their thing with the golden doodles.
Well, getting back to the hypoallergenic, that's the reason why when we got Gucci, we went right to a purebred breeder. And Gucci's mother is Pixie, who is the Westminster champion for years and years. So
he's
he is a royal, and he acts it. He is the king, all right. But that's one of the reasons why we did that. It wasn't because we wanted to breed a dog or to show a dog, but we wanted a hypoallergenic.
Well, when you do that and you go into a responsible breeder, you know, they usually, if certain breeds are prone to certain things. Right. And if you go to a responsible breeder, they're going to make sure that, yes, we belong to the hip dysplasia foundation. Right. Oh, yes, you know, we belong to the eye association. You know, so they're breeding to keep the dog far away from these genetic possibilities.
Correct. All right, well, we asked you to send us some of your little poochies on our Facebook, and we have your pictures coming up and more with a place for Paws right here. You're watching The Girls.
Welcome back to The Girls. We're here at the Dragonfly Cafe in Hazleton, and we are with our special guest. This is Diane from A Place for Paws. We're talking about animals, we're talking about grooming the animals, and now we have some of the tools that you use in your salon to groom the animals. You're going to tell us what they are and maybe some of the things we could use at home.
Okay.
All right.
This looks complex.
Complex. It looks like...
Very complex. This one looks familiar
drawer.
because I know my mom uses one like this on Gucci at home. So is this for like a...
That is called a slicker brush.
Slicker brush.
And if you feel these, you feel how sharp that is. an inexperienced person really shouldn't use these.
Okay.
Just because, well,
You could hurt someone.
if you go like this and you keep on going like
Whoa,
this,
look at your skin's coming on.
it burns your skin. And that's called brush burn. And using this improperly, too hard, that will cause brush burn, and that could cause
So leave
lots
this
of
for you.
damage. Well, the right way to use something like this, and once again, people think I'm crazy because I get very, I'm gonna show you. You're gonna take this and you're gonna lift the dog's hair up. And very little, very lightly you're holding it, not with pressure, you're gonna pull down so you're getting towards the skin. That's how you
Your
use
hair
a
looks
flicker.
lovely now, by the way.
It looks very
But I mean, you know, sometimes telling someone and actually showing them, you know, so people might think I'm crazy, but that's how you use a slicker brush. Then there's combs, and they come in many sizes.
I like this one.
I love this one for Gucci, and I love this one for Gucci. It depends
Gucci,
on-
are you watching? We know you're watching at home.
It depends on what you feel comfortable in your hand with. I mean, you see how this one has, you know, it's kind of rounded. They also have combs with handles for people who might be older with arthritis, you know, something bigger for them to grab onto. But I would tell all my customers, I don't really, you know, it doesn't matter if it's a lab or a Bichon or a Shih Tzu, use a comb. Just because
Daily?
a slicker brush daily.
Okay.
A slicker brush, even if used properly, sometimes this could skip over matting or
Or hurt
mats,
them.
Right. Where this, when you're running it through the hair, if it gets stuck and it's not moving, you know there's a mat.
Okay.
Which brings us to this tool.
That looks like something you'd use on a vegetable.
This is a dematter.
Okay.
And I don't know if they could see, but in between there's these things. You see those things in between?
Oh yeah, it's like double
See that?
teeth.
So this
is
doesn't
not
cut
sharp.
the hair.
Right, this is not sharp, okay? And when you're using this, you're gonna hold it like this and make little circular motions. And what it does is these things in between here, they actually break up the knot, the matting.
Now
Very
is that for
tedious
only
work.
is that only for dogs with curly hair?
I've had golden retrievers. You know how by their back end, their feathering's along? It sometimes gets knotted in there if they're not keeping up with the brushing and combing. This helps with that. If there's a lot of undercoat in a dog like a Pomeranian and the brush and comb aren't doing such a good job, you could use this.
Okay, so but every day, if they're doing this at home, they should be definitely combing their dog.
Every pet owner should own
Once in the morning and
a
once at
metal
night,
comb.
or what's like the
Once
do's?
a day.
I tell people, because I know it could get overwhelming when, you know, you have to take care of your dog. And I encourage all my customers to groom at home. I mean, not only one, it kind of makes me feel good because they see what I go through, but also it's good for the dog to maintain their coat and to keep the dirt off of them and, you know, get them used to being touched in certain areas where they're combing, and it's just all
So
maintenance
definitely
care.
once a day, comb your dog.
Or, yes, once a day, or if you have a dog like Gucci that could take you an hour to groom, you know, to comb out that Bichon, I suggest them taking one leg and doing it for 5 minutes a day. And then the next day, do the other leg. And then the next day, you do one of the other legs. And by the end of the week, the whole dog is combed out.
And I have to do, on top of that, I wash his face twice a day. He has a lot of hair by his face and by his eyes, so I try to keep the hair out of
And
his
there
face.
really is no trick to...
I wash it because he gets those little
Well, it's allergy
jigger-juice in
season.
there and it gets drainage.
Oh,
so you have-
yeah, I've had customers come in and I couldn't believe what the conditions of their eye looked like.
You showed us pictures of people who do not wash their dog's face, who do have those, and it had built a big, thick scab.
Oh, yeah, the actual scab itself was about, I'd have to say, 1/4 inch thick. And it was the size of a quarter. It covered the dog. The dog couldn't see.
Should you cut your dog's nails?
Nails should be done once a month.
You should cut, but at home, you could. Is it safe to cut your dog's nails? Because
Yes.
I know with the rabbit, it was, you had to be very careful where you went
Oh,
before
rabbits.
they would go back.
Well, rabbits are kind of difficult to do. I've seen them done, and I've done them before.
Oh, I don't miss doing that.
But every animal with the toenails that need to be cut, there's a bloodline in there, and it's called the quick. And the longer that you let the nail grow, the bloodline will grow with it. And then when you cut the dog's nail, you're going to make them bleed, which I hate doing. And it stings for a second. It hurts.
Oh.
So,
but people at home can cut their dog's own nails.
yes, and unfortunately, you know, like I'm not upset with people because I think that the breeders and the places that they're getting these dogs from are not telling them the proper way to maintain their dog. I had a woman come in and said, I get the dog's nails cut once a year. And I said, excuse me? I said, no. I said, the nails should be done once a month. And you know, usually sometimes, like if the people come to me on a regular basis, like let's just say they come in every 3 months for a bath for their dog, I'll tell them in between to come and I'll do them for nothing. I mean, I would hate to see what happens because I've seen it before. If you don't keep up with the dog's nails, deformity of the feet, early arthritis, a lot of things can happen.
Comfortable. Just think of your own hygiene. And then the other thing, how about the ears and the teeth? What else? I mean, now I know, Gucci, you told me something about the groomers aren't supposed to pull the hair out anymore because they used to scratch their
That's
like
what they're
crazy.
saying at all these new grooming expos, is that if there's no issue with the ear, if there's no smell, no discoloration, you know, leave it.
Leave the hair.
Because if you pull it sometimes, it can cause irritation. If a customer comes in and wants me to pull it, I'll pull it, you know, but...
And I've been seeing a lot of dogs had to have all their teeth pulled because the teeth were bad. They had abscesses in their mouth. They had to get their teeth pulled.
With all of my full grooms, teeth brushing is no extra charge. It is included with the price of the grooming. It's very important to keep
Okay,
with
so
that.
if they call you for a grooming, the pet's going to come in, they're going to get a bath, they're going to get conditioner if they need it, they're going to get the blow dry, the haircut, the brushing, the ears done, the teeth done, the nails done. So it's the spa.
And the bow. Don't forget
And
the
the
bow.
bow.
The bow's cute.
And how she always puts a scarf on Gucci too. He gets the little kerchief.
He got a bow that's like...
I know. He
I
came
gave
in,
him
he's
a
like,
green one.
He came in, he's like, get this out of my head.
And then you wonder why he likes going to see her. Well, anyway, you were nice enough to send us some of your pictures, and we have Krista Marquez, Luca Bracy's 4.5 months. He's an old black lab. Elvis, 10 years, 5 months, a miniature pinscher, Pomeranian mix. Okay. Who else do we have here? Charlie, 3-year-old Yorkie. This one's cute, from Robin. He's trying to use the phone to call the girls.
He's all the way from Canada.
He loves talking to Gucci. He wants to be a guest on the girls.
Look.
Charlie gets sad and doesn't understand why humans don't want to talk to him on the phone. All right, so there's some other pictures from some of our faithful watchers here.
I think Louis Ferdinand posted his dog on there too, Janine.
Yeah, I'll have to get to his. Louis Ferdinand, Mia. She's 5 years old, a golden doodle, right? Golden doodle. Look at how good. Look at the hair on that dog. Mittens Wilson, age 6, from McAdoo. She was a rescue cat, long hair.
Oh, look how cute she is.
Dina Stewart sent in her kitty cat. Now we should mention that sometimes, seldomly, you'll take a cat or two, but you really like to stick to dogs, and cats is a whole new different show, right?
Yes.
That's a show in itself. Lauren Vito sent in Rocky, 9-month-old blue-nosed pit bull. So if there's one thing that you want to leave the show with, what is your message to people out there regarding dogs and dog care?
I understand that grooming can be expensive. I try to keep my prices reasonable. And I also try to offer discounts if you come in on a regular basis. For those who do not get their dogs groomed on a regular basis, that's fine too. Just comb your dog.
Comb your dog.
Do
Take
your
care of your
dog's
doggy.
nails. Clean your eyes. But, you know, a person can take care of their dog at home as long as they're doing it on a weekly basis. The dog will be nice, healthy, have a nice coat, good skin.
And when in doubt, they could always call someone like yourself.
I answer questions all the time on the phone. People ask me, and I have no problem giving them advice.
And I'll attest to that. When I first got
I
Gucci,
encourage
I called
people.
her. We were on the phone an hour and a half the one day, and she gave me so many great pointers because you're the person who knows. You take care of them, and you have to see the after effect.
Yep.
So Yep, so get your dog groomed.
I'll stick to this dog for this show.
That needs maintenance too. Water.
It's okay, I
Don't
can water.
forget you have to water.
I can water her.
All right, well,
Sorry.
we're going to be chatting here a little bit extra. We'll be on our web extra if you want to check that out. And you can always join us anytime at ssptv.com as well. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.